Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here this morning. Have a great show lined up. And as always, get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Had one of my students, Todd Boyd, took the welding class there, folks. I need to bring you and show you some pictures of some of the stuff that young man has welded as an 18-year-old. He's going to make a good living, I can promise you, as one of those top-level welders. I've talked to Eric Johnson, the welding teacher there, and he said he's one of the best he's had. And Todd Boyd, I've had him on the show before with the fish cleaning table. That young man there has a bright future ahead just because of his training and his work ethic and his ability to comprehend all that. And so my hat's off to a lot of graduates getting ready to graduate. A lot of seniors graduating the next couple of weeks, and all throughout the Florida Panhandle. So we'll talk more about that later. And I'll have some of my students on Thursday. It's the last day of our seniors on Thursday, so I have some of them coming on. So it's a good time of year to be in the school system and see these young people mature and do so well. Now, let's get back to our weather. High today, 83, low tonight, 68, and water temperature is at 80 degrees. Looking good out there. The tide's in good shape. Brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Looking on the screen there, on May 20th, good strong tide. We have a high tide right here. Last night at 12:26 and low tide at 2:29. We've got a 2-foot range and a good strong movement in our tidal system, okay? I also want to mention, several of y'all have asked about, getting the book. I know, remember I have it at C&G Sporting Goods, I have it at Sunjammers, and also down at Blue Water Outrigger. Those three outlets there are carried, and also down in Apalachicola at the bookstore in Apalachicola if you just want to go there. Those books are autographed. They just have Winston Chester autographed. But if you want to personally autograph one to so-and-so, I can do that. And here, if you want to just, it's $44.95, and there's my address right there. You can just send me a check and tell me who to autograph it to, and I can send it right back to you. And that's going to make a great present. We're right around the corner from Father's Day now, about 4 weeks from now. We'll be talking about Father's Day. So that's been a really one of the best, other than Christmas, the best-selling part of the season for full box has been Father's Day weekend, okay? All right, we're going to take our break and come back with our special guest. All right, welcome back. Here with Daniel Raffield.
Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
Good morning, Daniel. Always great to have him on from Kramer Chevrolet, one of our great sponsors here. And Daniel comes from a long line of fishermen, but we're talking about you in a position now, Daniel. You're working so hard, you're not getting a chance to fish.
You know, you're right, Coach. You asked me when we come on the show, have you done any fishing? And a lot of times I tell you yeah, and there's a lot of times I can tell you no. I've been working. I stay just that busy.
Well,
absolutely.
It'll slow down sooner or later, hopefully sooner. But I was telling you also, I'm about to die to get me a truck, and I've been trying to discipline myself to wait to the fall. Again, I always talk so many times on here. I talk about things my dad did, and I remember he would always trade in the fall, and in August, September, when the new ones came out.
The new bike styles come out. It's usually when people try to get the leftover the previous year, they'll go ahead and try to upgrade to the current. But it's at our place, it's always a good time to buy a vehicle.
Yeah.
I heard a salesman one time say something, and I say it every now and again, but all these vehicles, they're all for sale. We don't collect them. Mr. Kramer wants to sell them. So,
well, how's business been?
Business has been phenomenal. Used car business has been incredible. I was blessed to be Salesman of the Month again in April. I was Salesman of the Month in January. So my 2014 year has really been phenomenal. It's been an awesome year.
When you make Salesman of the Month at a large dealership like that is an honor. It really is, because y'all got some hard-working guys over there.
We have some awesome talent. We have some guys that have been in the car business 30, 40 years. I mean, a couple of those guys have been there that long. And so anytime you can, if you want to use the word beat one of those salesmen or outsell them, you have got an unbelievable amount of people who are supporting you, which is your customers and the dealership itself. So yeah, it's very much appreciated.
Now, I saw recently, I think, where the governor came by to check you.
He did. The governor was in town last Friday. It was. He pulled up there driving a Chevy Suburban, by the way, which we were glad to see, and spoke. Him, the lieutenant governor, and some state reps, and it was a good turnout. It was good to see the governor here in our hometown and talking about us. It was nice.
No, that's good. Now, the guys that are working there, I know some of those guys like to fish too. Have any of those guys been catching anything?
You know, everybody I know, Coach, except for a couple members of management, we won't say your names, have been fishing. And, you know, what I'm hearing right now, you know, the Pompano's still good in St. Joe Bay.
Yeah.
Chris Kramer's friend caught and I've got a picture of it. The next segment I'll pull it up and show you, but caught a 7.5-pound trout in St. Joe Bay.
That is nice.
Which is a stud. That's a nice fish. And and the Pompano still getting it.
Yeah, Pompano's been real strong. Been a good run of Pompano this year, especially down in our southern view area. They've slowed down up here on the west end of the beach. The guys were catching them real good a couple weeks ago. They slowed down off the pier. But it was a good run up here, but it didn't last that long. But the Pompano stayed down there. I've seen this pattern over the years where they hit here real fast and hit here hard.
Right. And
then they hit down there and they just stay down there for a while.
Yes.
And that's the pattern we're in this year.
That is the pattern. And also, too, this year that way with mackerel. I've been listening to my dad, which he's been doing some fishing, and he, you know, he's saying these mackerel now, he's some of the biggest bunches he's seen in quite some time. So the fishing population is doing good, and that's awesome news.
Yeah. Has he been able to get out much?
He has. He's been catching some ladyfish here and there, and I think they fished the night before last and made a couple small strikes. You know, you can do what you can do, and just it's having fun. You know.
Well, he's at a point in time in his life where he can just get out there and enjoy it.
You know, he's 65 years old now, and he'll probably kill me he probably doesn't care, but you're right. He's healthy enough to have fun, and he ain't got to work as hard as he used to.
Yeah, that's great. He deserves it too.
Yes, sir.
Later on in the show, in the segment, we're going to get on the screen here and go through and detail out St. Joe Bay and the area. We'll show you where the Rathfield family came down and where they spread out. And that's going to be good. But right now, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Sitting with Daniel Rathfield from Kramer Chevrolet. Always glad to have those guys on. But first, we like to give things away.
Absolutely, let's do it.
And I know y'all don't give away. I try to get y'all to give me a truck, but y'all wouldn't do it. But I'm gonna give stuff away.
I'm all about it, Coach.
Okay, now listen. This is gonna be our tackle bag. We've had it before. And I'm going to go through the stuff we have in it. And the first one is DVD from our director here, Jeff Peck. A walk through nature from Florida's Emerald Coast. Great video. I've been at the game cookout at First United Methodist Church. They actually play this while people are eating and conversing and all. Just some great video there. And you still get those online, Jeff Peck? Okay, how did it go to? Okay, we'll put that on the screen for you. Okay, Trigger X right here. That's a crab. Now, you know how good a baked crab is.
Yeah, fantastic.
Really good stuff there.
Good pompano fishing.
Big bite baits. You know how good that's good stuff there. All right, let's see. How about a shrimp? All this going to be, all this free stuff here. I just got it full of stuff here. Okay.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
How about, they're still catching Spanish.
Yes, sir. That's a fantastic.
Real oil, little plastic thing for the kids to play with on the reel.
Teach a kid how to cast. That's
our famous good. Floatable pliers that float. Aloha yawl, winter decal. Okay. I also got a Panhandle. I got a Panhandle Outdoors decal. If y'all want some Panhandle Outdoors decal, they're free. You know, we'll get y'all something to put on your truck or car. So, all right, Daniel, I'm going to let you. We'll put these back in the bag in a minute. I'm going to let you draw the lucky winner.
Let's draw him.
Okay. And see how we do on that. And the winner of this tackle bag from Panhandle Outdoors is Slim Tiller from Deer Point Lake. Slim's a big outdoorsman, okay? Deer Point Lake. I'm going to put a tackle bag in it. Slim, and you come by here and pick it up. Well, you might want to come by the house, pick it up. He lives out at Deer Point Lake, and a good loyal viewer. All right? Right there, good job. Now, let's get, while you're in the business, I always like to talk to people who are in their business. I like to pick their brain and all. And when you're looking for a used vehicle, a good used vehicle, what are some of the things that as a professional, what are some things you want to tell people to look for?
One of the first things I'm going to look for is reputation of the dealership. I'm going to look and see how long the dealership's been in the community or been in the town. Bill Kramer Chevrolet, it's no secret, come from Tommy Thomas Chevrolet. We've been in business for 48 years. It's been owned by the same family for 48 years, so our reputation is impeccable. You won't find a better dealership to buy from, to work with, and reputation is everything to me, the salesman, and to the owner, Mr. Kramer. And so that's one of the things I'm going to look for. The first thing is reputation and how long a company's been in business.
All right. Now you were talking about the Equinox. Do y'all have a little special on Equinox?
Right now we have specials on Equinox. It's 2014 Chevy Equinox, which is a midsize SUV or crossover. You can buy that vehicle starting at $22,900. That's for a brand new car, 30 plus miles to the gallon, second row bench seating. Yeah. So it's a fantastic vehicle for a single family or for a new married couple or that need to do some traveling and don't want to burn a lot of fuel and want a brand new car. I
see this phrase a lot. It's called certified pre-owned. Now, exactly what is certified pre-owned?
What certified pre-owned is, that's going to be on any GM product, GMC, Chevrolet. It can be on a Cadillac. And what the certification on the car gives you is an additional 12-month bumper to bumper. Plus you pick up 3-year, 30,000-mile free oil changes in that vehicle, along with the remainder of the 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain, the remainder of the 3-year 36 bumper to bumper. I'm not finished yet. And the great thing about certification is if you bring a car in for any kind of service, we'll give you something to drive. And that's exclusive only to General Motors. There are other dealerships that do that, but they have 2 cars in their fleet. We keep about 27, 30 cars that we have just for our customers to drive. So
that's good.
There's some huge benefits in the certified pre-owned world. And GM warranty exceeds any other warranty you can buy right from the factory. So
I noticed too, even for my credit union, I got a little flyer the other day. The interest rates are good right now.
The interest rates are good. We're seeing some good interest rates. We're seeing some good terms. Yeah. And you know, like I say this, and I live this. As coach, I've been coming on the show for about 1.5 to 2 years, and I buy vehicles, and that's just being in the business. You can buy them. And there's no better time to buy. As far as quality, it's there. It's always a good time to buy a vehicle.
Okay, now let's get back to fishing. Well, we're gonna take a break in a minute, but we're gonna get back to our map and that we have on famous Friday fishing forecast, and we're gonna show you St. Joe Bay and all. But now you're saying your dad, he's still able to net fish a little bit.
Dad's still able to net fish. He does it every opportunity he gets. When he's not net fishing, he's working on his boat. He's it's kind of like a hunter. A hunter's all the time upgrading his equipment and making it better.
Do y'all have any, does he have any wooden boats left down there, or any of those? I know your family used to build their own boats. Now, everybody around here used to build their own boats, and they're really, it's becoming a lost art.
Sure.
The folks around, and this is really one of the last remaining areas in the country where boats are being, Louisiana has a little pocket of people that still build boats, but here, it's just fading away.
There's only a couple boat builders that I can think of anymore, and one of them's Fred Buskins, and I'm sure he's watching the show right now down in Overstreet. Great guy. Him and my dad are good friends for years, and my dad, he'll build a fiberglass mold time to time and make a boat. As far as wooden boat builders, you're right, Coach. There's not very many of them left.
Yeah. I have one. I actually have it up at a school, and it was built by an old net boat, built by Mr. William Spicer. He's in my book, and he passed away not too long after the book came out, and his family called me after his passing, and I got to know Mr. Spicer by doing interviews with him, and he lived by himself over there in Parker. And the Spicer family, one of the original families out of Raffles, and he was one of the last one to build a boat. And they wanted his family, they lived up in Georgia, and they called me and they wanted me to come get their dad's old boat. I still have the boat, but it's getting weathered, and trying to keep a tarp on it and wind blowing off. But I'd like to show the kids what the old net boat looks like. And it's still building. And he was before he passed away, I was talking to him, he was so proud of that boat.
Dad had one that belonged to Nevin Stewart's father. Nevin Stewart flew our plane for years, fish spotting. Yeah. And Dad got the boat, I'm going 25 years ago back, and he built a mold after it. He still has that boat. It's a rowboat. Yeah. And the craftsmanship from 100 years ago to today is incredible, the amount of stuff they were able to pull off with the tools they had. Yeah. Which, it
was an art.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
It was an art. And we had the same, on a smaller scale, we had the same situation up the river. They're around the Calhoun County and Bluntstown area and Weewall. These guys would build these little river boats, and the same kind of craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And my granddad had built his own boat and all that, but it was they didn't have a lot of other things to do. I mean, at that time they didn't have TVs to watch.
No, and they had to make a living. You know, these old commercial fishermen, so they had to build a boat. They couldn't call a guy on the phone and say, "Hey, so and so, I need you to build me a boat." And
they had to build one that they could depend on.
Right.
And you know, it's not going to last a couple of trips and start leaking.
Well, in your book, you know, you got a picture of my great grandfather. He had that schooner they built.
Yes.
The Hypnotist.
Yeah.
Now that's a hand-built boat, and you know that wasn't uncommon back then for a family to work together, brothers and whoever they had, to build a boat like that to provide for a family.
Yeah. That's so true. Okay, we're going to take our final break and come back and show you some of the different sites and places to go fishing on St. Joe Bay. Hi, welcome back. Daniel and I just want to get up here on the big screen and show y'all some of the roots and all the Raphael family. Then we're going down to St. Joe Bay. You know, what are the three men I have on the front of my boat? One of them is Charles Jackson Raphael, and that's, you know, it came down to the 1800s. And Daniel, we talked about it before. In fact, you look on Google right here, we have Raphael Island.
Yes, sir.
And the family, they were out here. They really settled down in the East Bay area. Had a community over here called Auburn.
Yes, sir.
And then often, I know your dad and granddad told you about, they would come across here to Crooked Island Sound, and we're about where the old launch area here, and they would have, in fact, you can see, I know your dad told me you could look out here and see the old oak trees where they would salt the fish. It came back into here, this was protected, and it came back into this area here, but this whole area one time all was homestead and all, and they had the property actually until World War II broke out, and they came in and took it. But I know y'all were able to take, your family took some of the homes from there.
Yes, sir.
And were able to take them to different places. Some of the homes went over to Panama City.
Right.
Or some went down to St. Joe.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And,
that's right.
So let's go down here now. Next is St. Joe Bay, and we'll start at up here at your dad's place. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to it. I'll zoom in. You go ahead and you're going to point out Highland View.
Now this is where I grew up. This would be Rathfield Fisheries and the
marina.
Okay. So we've got my little part of the world there, and Highland View, of course, and you know, all of our tourists when they come down, they like to fish right here in the mouth and walk out here. And there's been some great fishing. I've caught a lot of redfish myself out here walking these flats and these rocks. But more recently, all the trout and redfish that I've caught as I've gotten older, we've caught them off of these docks right here. And where
is that now?
Zoom in right here, Coach.
Okay, let's go back on to where we were.
Come on in.
Okay.
Now, if you'll look right here, now this is just up the dock from woods. You don't want to fish on the woods property. We want to fish on these docks up here. They've got some sunk boats, and there's some great redfish in here. You really got to be careful though. There's a couple sunk boats here, and a lot of old raft under the water, but fantastic trout fishing and great redfish.
Okay.
All up here in the canal.
Okay, and then down here at the bridge, of course, like you say, a lot of folks can fish under the bridge. You can just drive up there now and fish under the bridge.
Absolutely. You can come here and park your vehicle, and you can fish, wade out here, and catch a good bit of fish. A lot of triggerfish though too have been caught out here, Coach. There's two big buoys here. Now we've caught, me and Jason Brandt, we've caught a pile of triple tail here. And if you've never caught a triple tail, I know you have.
Yeah.
That's a great fish to catch. You're talking about fun.
Fun to catch and great eating too.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go now to where your dad lives now. Let's go here toward the Blacks Island and let's go on up here to...
Now, right here, now this is where I grew up. This is my mom and dad's home. They still live here. And you talking about a great time to be a kid growing up on St. Joe Bay. Man, I was a pirate. I got to do all kind of things here, but
you did it all. Didn't you?
We did it all, and had a good time doing it. But
of course, here's Presnell's.
Correct. You got Presnell's here, and then my mom and dad's place here, which is the old Beacon Hill Lighthouse they restored years ago. But you can come out here in the canal.
Okay.
And, you have the Dyke hole. Growing up as a kid, I fished the Dyke hole a lot, which is in this area, which is great for flounder, redfish, and trout. It used to be a local secret.
Oh,
it's not anymore.
Well, that's why, Crooked Island Sound. We're talking about Crooked Island Sound. It used to be a local secret now. A majority of people go there are not locals.
No, sir. That's right. That's right.
That's just part of, So now getting back, did you go to Blacks Island much?
You know, growing up as a kid, we would go there and play. But far as fishing, we flipped around a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes our world turns upside down. But we'll get back to it. Here it is. That's a high-tech redneck. All right, here
Absolutely. We go. Now, you know, a lot of good fishing that we've done was on the north side of Black's Island.
Okay.
It's shallow. It's grass flats. And there's a couple spots of sand, but you know, what we always did, we'd pull the anchor and just drift with the wind and fish all up and down.
And you know, that's an excellent way to fish, and I'm glad you brought that. A lot of times I can do that, and I can go all the way down. You know, if I catch that south wind, and just go all the way down to the backside of the cape.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And there's some great fish, and some of the biggest trout I've ever caught would be on the backside of this island. Another fan. There's so many places on this bay. I'm just looking at it and thinking, man, there's some great fishing. I wish I was fishing today.
I know.
You know, you've got Lighthouse Channel, which is phenomenal during scallop season. A lot of good scallops gather up around here.
They off Richardson Hammock and all. That's Lighthouse Channel, and we do a lot of scalloping up in that area.
Yeah. It's really St. Joe Bay is so pristine. Chris Kramer and I were talking the other day about how special that bay is versus other bays in our area.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, we're blessed to live where we do, where you can go do the things that we enjoy doing.
I know it. Let me go ahead and do our fish and game forecast, our time for the day. While we got here brought to us by Mark Coward. Speaking of fishing today, 5:55 a.m. to 7:55 this morning, and then this evening from 6:21 to 8:21. That's our two times. Right, you can see it right there on the screen there. Appreciate Mark sponsoring that. And we've got about 30, 45 seconds, and if you were going fishing today in St. Joe Bay, where would you go?
Today, like today with the wind like it's doing, I'd probably fish over towards the state park, Ovation, Eagle Harbor.
Yeah.
Somewhere like that, and get on the leeward side of this wind is where I would fish today.
We didn't mention there's the Eagle Harbor right there in the middle of the screen there. That's the St. Joe State Park, and always a great place to go, always dependable. One of my favorite places, too.
Yes, sir.
All right, Danny, we got to wrap it up, buddy.
Coach, I enjoyed it.
You have a good day.
You too.
At work. All right, man.
Thank you.
Folks, as always, we appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate our sponsors that help to bring us on the air, and if you know anybody wants to help sponsor the show, give us a call. Today, you do something good for someone else. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.